They can thinking,
It's not happening with him.
It's a matter of life and death.
I'll tell you what's the matter with life and death. That beautiful lady over there. Hey, baby, check out the gun show going on over here. Boom, boom, firepower. Where are they?
Killing is making a choice.
Hasta la vista, baby.
That's not how the Force works. My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
And welcome in to Oh So Curious. Thanks for tuning into the show, guys. Today you are talking to or listening to Daniel. I am your host, and with me today we have Brian and Andrew. Andrew, how are you doing today?
Me? Oh, I'm just fine. It's a foggy Sunday morning and my lips are chapped. It's Los Angeles, baby. I'm happy. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How about you, Brian?
I'm doing very well,
today?
actually. I'm doing good. Haven't quite gotten the professional mic and the professional lighting hooked up yet, but I will have that hooked up pretty soon. We're looking like next week's episode for now, and should be getting a professional headset too, along with all that. So.
Yeah. Well, you haven't hooked up your mic?
No, I haven't hooked up the mic yet. No, I have not.
Oh my
hooked it
God.
up. Why? Does it sound that good without it?
I mean, you went through all that dancing and hiking.
Yeah.
I felt like you were up for it.
That,
It was gonna happen.
yeah, I know. I thought the same. I mean, I thought I was gonna have them up and ready to go, but with all the moving, I mean, it's been difficult to kind of get ahead of all that stuff and get it going. But next week, I'll be in South Carolina, be in Fort Mill. So my new residency. So I'll be good to go with all the professional equipment. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Moving in changes things with the microphone, but I'm happy for you guys.
Oh yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate that, Andrew.
So what's going on today? What are we talking about?
Well, let me get things started by giving you guys some warnings. So, we're going to start with a spoiler warning. Just as a general, I don't even know why, but we're just going to give you a general spoiler in case I guess there's a movie that we are covering that you happen to have not seen, and we, talk about it, and then it comes up in the debate and we give out a spoiler. We don't want to do that, or we don't want to ruin your movie watching experience. So here's a good spoiler warning. Here's the more relevant warning. The more relevant warning is the language warning. This will be an episode that's going to be filled with quite a bit of swearing. So I'll just say that we'll have a lot of bleeping fun. And while we're saying bleeping right now, there won't be a whole lot of bleeping going on later on. So just a good language warning for you guys. So from there, let's just dive into the meat of it. We always start the show off with our quick hits. And if you have never seen the show before, if you're just finding us for the first time, what are the quick hits? Well, quick hits, there just could be anything that piques our curiosity. We cover a wide range of topics. Quick hits could be as simple as water is wet, let's talk about that. Or it could be, hey, there's a new movie coming out this weekend. Have you checked it out? What do you think about it? Usually it ends up being the latter more so than the former, but we're gonna dive right into it. So the first quick hit today is comes to us from Andrew. So Andrew, tell us, what is your quick hit?
Well, I'll tell you something. Next week I'm probably gonna do Water is Wet, but this week This week we had The Many Saints of Newark come out on HBO and in theaters, and a highly anticipated prequel to the Sopranos series, which was a work of art for Sopranos fans, this was a long time coming.
Yep.
We were told to anticipate it because James Gandolfini, who died, his son would be playing him for the first time in this prequel set in the 60s and 70s. Big takeaway, I didn't need to watch it. I don't think I'm surprising anybody here by saying didn't care for it. But here's what we had. We had some really cool performances by Ray Liotta. Michael Gandolfini did a pretty good job. But if you're a fan of the show, it's narrated by a character who died. It doesn't really make sense. If you haven't seen the show, the movie doesn't really stand on its own two legs. And, it's sort of a rambling, superficial parody of The Sopranos more than anything. Beautiful to look at, but ultimately, I could have spent the time doing other stuff. That's my key takeaway from
just not your cup of tea.
It wasn't, and I was looking forward to it, because Sopranos was a beautiful, wonderful show. I will give a special shout out to Ray Liotta. Wow, that guy's he just sort of owns those mob stories. And here's a spoiler too. He doesn't play just one character in it. And the performances for both of the characters are subtly different, but enough where you really do get a sense of two different people. But that's it. Yeah, that's what I thought of that movie.
Interesting. I feel like it should have lived up to a certain amount of hype, with the Sopranos being, I just started watching The Sopranos. I literally just started getting into it. And I mean, I love it thus far. Yeah, I think it's a great, well-written TV series. It's got a lot going on in it.
It is.
Lot to keep, track of, and basically all the, the different, all the different things that are going on within, the mob, basically. So I don't know. It's with this, it's you expect a lot more out of it. Obviously,
there was a lot of build up to this because it was just, people have been watching it and rewatching it for almost 20 years now. And my family, people watched it 3 or 4 times already now. And, people, they know the gags from it. There are lines. There's a number of people who, anytime they hit a word that ends in ATION, they immediately go into a Tony Soprano impersonation. Impersonation is what they would do. There's always a little bit of an impersonation. It almost felt like that's what some of the characters were doing in the movie, though. Yeah. So that's me putting a cap on that. Could have been better.
Yeah. All right, and Daniel, I think you're next for your quick hit.
Yeah. So my quick hit is it's a little bit of a scramble. I mean, and what I mean by that essentially is that I'm not just talking one movie like the Many Saints of Newark. I'm talking about 2 movies. So there's Venom, Let There Be Carnage, which I believe dropped in the U.S. This weekend. So we're recording this on the 3rd, and so Venom is out in theaters now, as in the U.S., and it's doing quite well. So that movie's out right now. It's doing quite well at the box office. It's getting better reviews than even the first one did, and the first one made a shit ton of money. It made almost
we told you this is going to be a dirty episode.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm diving right into it. I thought about it. Should I a shootload of? No, I'm gonna say that. Okay, I'm gonna say the word.
There's no turning back now.
There's no turning back. So yeah, I mean, Venom, the first one made $700 some odd million. This one obviously will not make that because of the pandemic and everything being lower, but nonetheless, it's on track to make quite a bit of money and do very well for the market and the climate out now. But in addition to that, next weekend it's gonna have to go head to head with No Time to Die, which is, of course, as you might know, is the last Daniel Craig James Bond movie, and it's a movie that's been delayed for practically 18 months, so there's a good amount of hype that's been built up behind it. And so when No Time to Die drops, I mean, it's gonna go head to head on its opening weekend in the U.S. Is gonna go head to head with Venom, and as it does so, I gotta wonder. I gotta wonder which of these movies is gonna come out on top. So what I wanted to ask you guys is, what's your opinion? Which movie is it gonna be? Venom, or is it gonna be No Time to Die? Venom: Let There Be Carnage, or the last James Bond movie with Daniel Craig in the titular role? Which of these movies, A, do you want to go see? I mean, you could say you're going to go see both, but this next weekend, which movie would you go see of the two if you only had to pick one? And which of those two are you more excited about?
Brian, I'll let you take this first.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really big into like the whole. I mean, I do like Tom Hardy as an actor. I do like Spider-Man, but the whole like Venom series, I haven't really been able to get much into. Plus, after I saw the fact that Woody Harrelson's going to be playing Carnage in this, I mean, the guy's not really getting any younger. I mean, he just turned 60 this year, so that's going to be really. I mean, that alone by itself, I think, is going to be interesting to see in the new Venom movie. But if I had to pick one, I mean, I think it's obvious for me. I would pick James Bond with Daniel Craig. I mean, it being his last James Bond movie, I think he's done a terrific job playing the role of James Bond throughout the franchise with his time in it. My favorite James Bond has always been Pierce Brosnan. Don't ask me why.
What?
Just something. Yeah, it's just something. I mean, I grew up on the whole 007, series, and with GoldenEye, and I forget the other one.
No.
But
No. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I would have to pick James Bond in this with Daniel Craig, it being his last James Bond. I mean, I would definitely prefer that over Venom, I think.
I'm going to go ahead and correct you there that the greatest James Bond was not Pierce Brosnan, but wow, Sean Connery, the classic.
Yeah, it's a popular pick. Yep, Sean Connery.
Popular thing. It's an undisputed fact. He's the
No,
best.
I agree. Deservingly so, yeah.
But in terms of these two movies, I think, James Bond, it's a franchise that's been around for a long time. People, it's an event. It's weird to think that he's been doing it this long. But I feel like Marvel has kind of cornered the market on movies these days. People are hyped for Marvel, especially when it's got that Deadpool self-aware humor to it. And I know Venom, for all of its action and special effects and the real hypey stuff about it, it's got a sense of humor about itself. And that tends to be the thing that turns into a blockbuster movie these days. People like to sort of feel a little bit of everything. And it's weird, genre has kind of dissipated into, well, it's mostly action, but you're going to laugh along the way. Right. Or, it's gritty, but it's funny. There's
going to be some humor in there with it. Yeah.
Yeah. If I had to guess, I think Venom will probably do better, more wider reaching audience.
Yeah. I already know what's coming from Daniel, so.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I could already see like what's happening.
Is it going to be dirty?
I don't think it's going to be dirty, but it might be stirred. So.
Stern. Wow.
No, stirred. Stirred. Shaken. Shaken.
Yeah.
Not stirred.
Well, I was shaken by what you said.
Oh man.
Sorry guys, I was having some audio issues there.
All good.
I had to kind of work through these. No, I mean, so there's both of them, and I know I asked the impossible question. You got to pick one, and you got to watch just one of them. You can't watch both. So it becomes a choice of you got to pick a franchise that's been around for like 6 decades basically, and on the other side you have a Marvel movie, which is technically, well, it's like a Sony movie. It's a Sony Marvel movie. So it's not an MCU movie, although they keep hinting at the idea that they may be bringing in all those characters, and who knows? I mean, with Spider-Man No Way Home coming out later this year, there may be some connection there. So who knows? But if I had to pick this upcoming weekend, I would definitely go see No Time to Die. You know,
Really?
because, well, I mean, Brian already said he knows me well. But no, I would go see No Time to Die, because if I had to make the choice, that's the movie I'm more excited about, the one I've been waiting for, and certainly waiting for a lot longer than, say, Venom, Let There Be Carnage. I would try to go see Venom before then, but I know the question was if I had to pick one and I hadn't seen either of them, then which one would it be? So James Bond it would be for me, shaken not stirred. What I would say is that Venom 2 is a movie that, I mean, the first one went under the radar for some people, but then it was a breakout hit. So this one is getting better reviews. So there's, if you checked out the first one and you really liked it, it's definitely worth checking out. So anyway, let's keep going here, shall we? So the next thing that we have on our docket today is a quick hit from Brian. So Brian, what are you going to be talking to us about in your quick hit?
So guys, it's no surprise, there is another Halloween movie coming out.
Another one.
Yeah, another one. So
Good.
it's as if they need to keep coming out with them. No, I honestly, I am a big Halloween fan. But with
Movie,
this,
not the holiday.
well, actually both.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Both? Oh, you like both, huh? Okay.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Halloween is one of my favorite holidays. I mean, I love it. But no, Halloween, the series though, just talking about it really quick, in terms of like the direction they've been kind of going with, the current, series, I guess you could say, with what they've been doing, with David Gordon Green, directing it, and basically, Danny McBride stepping in to help, screenwrite it, basically. I don't know. I wasn't really impressed with the previous Halloween that came out in 2018. I must say, I actually just watched it for the first time the other day. I wasn't too impressed with it, but now they have basically another Halloween coming off of that one coming out. It's supposed to release on October 15th in theaters, and supposed to stream on Peacock. Um, but yeah, I mean, ba- basically, it's going to be Halloween Kills. This one's also going to be directed by David Gordon Green. And like I already mentioned with the previous one, the 2018 one, Danny McBride is coming back to basically do the screenwriting with this.
That's the great thing. Danny McBride, he comes across, I think everybody first heard about him like in Hot Rod and Eastbound and Down. He's this really funny guy. He's hilarious. I love Vice Principals.
Eastbound and Down was
Righteous
hilarious.
Gemstones. The guy's a talented comedic actor, but as is the case with him and a couple, I know Joe Lo Truglio is another one, where these are guys who love horror. They grew up on horror. They love it, and they have a real sense of it. And there's a fine line, along the continuum of timing, where if you wait a couple of seconds, it's funny. And if you don't wait that couple of seconds, it's scary. Right. I think both of those skill sets are playing with timing, and he's talented when it comes to both. So I love the idea that he's that multifaceted, that he can come on as a writer for something as classic as a Halloween sequel.
Right, because it's almost like we're not used to seeing McBride like in this kind of of role, like doing a scary like screenplay such as this. But I mean, people like him, people like Rob Zombie, like you said, they grew up with like the horrors and being a big fan of like the scary movies and that kind of work. I mean, it's only fitting that they basically do projects like this and work on projects like, especially like a Blumhouse project such as this.
Absolutely, yeah.
But basically, as I already mentioned, though, it's a sequel to the the 2018 Halloween movie. This is the 12th installment in the Halloween franchise. So, I mean, it keeps going strong, basically. So basically, it stars Jamie Lee Curtis. She'll be playing Laurie Strode again. Nick Castle will be playing Mike Myers again. James Jude Courtney is also portraying Myers again. And then we have some newcomers basically to the scene. Anthony Michael Hall and Thomas Mann are joining the cast. Jamie Lee Curtis, Kyle Richards, and Lindsay Wallace will all be reuniting from the original 1978 piece, which is interesting.
That's fun. People are really digging this nostalgia trend right now.
I know, everybody kind of
let's bring them back and tie up the loose ends and see what we can reinvent. And it's wow.
Right.
Yeah.
But basically Halloween Kills, it's going to lead off where it previously, basically where Halloween 2018 ended, where we see Laurie Strode and her family continuing to fend off Michael Myers, her brother. But this time she gets everyone in the Haddonfield, Illinois community to basically help her with it, as you will see in the trailer, which I believe, Daniel, do we have a trailer for this that we're going to be playing?
I believe you do. Yeah, we do have a trailer for this.
Daniel.
I gotta say, guys, I've been trying to fix my audio. Can
Dan,
you guys
I can't
hear
hear
me
you at
any
all.
better? I've been trying to fix my audio for the longest time. I think I'm back now.
There we go.
I was having some sort of technical issues, and for whatever reason, I've not been able to really fix this problem. I know we were having this problem before the show started. I think it's better now. There was a lot of background noise, and I got rid of it. But yeah, we do have a trailer. We definitely do have a trailer for you. How about I cue it up right here? Have to peek around some props that we got, which I will explain. They're sitting.
And as I already mentioned earlier too,
Yeah.
Blumhouse is one of the production companies for this film, for Halloween Kills, and Universal Pictures is the distributor for this film. So according to Blumhouse CEO Jason Blum, the movie's release date for streaming was not a Universal or Peacock decision. It was basically his decision. And that decision was basically tied back to their 2020 horror comedy Freaky, which I actually did not see. Did you guys see Freaky?
I did not.
So basically, that's why I think there was like a year-long delay with the releasing of Halloween Kills, which will be available to stream on Peacock on October 5th, and it will hit theaters that same day. So.
Oh, well, do we have the trailer there?
We do.
Let's take a look.
Do. I've got it waiting for you guys. I'm gonna play it out here, and we can listen, watch, and see what it's like.
My grandmother was right. The boogeyman was real.
It's over.
We can't hurt anyone ever again.
No one told you.
Told me what?
Somebody in there?
Michael Myers is alive.
Stop! You had a knife in your stomach.
You and Allison should not have to keep running. Evil dies tonight.
I'm not just gonna sit and watch another innocent person die.
If you track Michael's victims, that's a straight line to Michael's childhood home.
What do we do?
We fight.
Let's hunt him down.
Michael Myers is flesh and blood. But a man couldn't have survived that fire. The more he kills, the more he transcends.
Run! Go home now!
He's the essence of evil.
Do it! Do it! You want your mask? Come and get it!
I'm coming for you, Michael.
Okay, well, that's the trailer. It's definitely freaky. I don't usually watch these movies, but yeah. One heck of a trailer, guys. What did you think? I mean, like I said, I'm not one to watch these kind of movies, so I'm probably not going to be checking it out. But the trailer certainly, you know, it picks up basically where that last movie left off. It's like literally right where the last movie left off. And, you know, there's no time has passed, and you just kind of pick up the story and keep going from there. Brian, so, what are your thoughts? I mean, you're a fan of this franchise, and so you had some...
Yeah.
You talked to me about, like, you had some very specific opinions about this.
Well, it's like the direction they're going in now with like this, I guess you can call it a series, or I don't know, like what the correct terminology is with, like, you know, the set basically that they're doing right now with the Halloween franchise. But because it's basically this set that they have going on now, they're going to do Halloween Kills, and then it looks like they're going to end it with Halloween Ends, which is supposed to release October 14th of next year. So I don't know, like this current series that they're on now with the Halloween franchise, you know, I haven't gotten too far into it. I mean, I've seen a couple of the movies for it, but I was a little like turned off by it because, you know, after you kind of drag something out like this for like so long, it kind of gets like tiring after a while. And because I'm a big fan of like the original Halloween, Halloween 2, I don't think we see much of Michael Myers. I don't think Michael Myers is actually in Halloween 3, but then you come out with Halloween 4, because I think he's in a coma, I think, in Halloween 3, but Halloween 4, he returns, obviously, and Halloween 5 is pretty good. But after that, it kind of like, I don't know, I feel like there's a little bit of a drop-off after that. I feel like they kind of like steer away from like the original, like what Halloween like first came out as, like the original script kind of a little bit, and it kind of goes in another direction. But I don't know, with this though, it's like, I don't know, I guess I wasn't too impressed with Halloween 2018 because I felt like there wasn't like too much creativity with it. I felt like it was kind of like rehashing kind of like the same old stuff over again.
We've been running away from this guy in the mask for a long time.
Yeah, it's like it gets like so tiring after a while, and there wasn't anything like really new to it. I felt like it was just like a lot of the same old, you know, and it was kind of like getting off like, you know, kind of like the story from what I'm used to, like the original story. But I don't know. Those are just my opinions, and you know, people obviously have different opinions and probably think I'm wrong, you know, when I say those opinions. But
yeah,
I don't know. but anyway, I mean, you know, I'm interested to obviously to see where the franchise goes after Halloween Ends comes out next year. But Halloween Kills, you know, if you were to ask me if I were to go see it or not, I mean, I guess I would say yes, you know, just because it's a Halloween movie. But I don't think I would be expecting too much from it. I mean, we're starting to see Jamie Lee Curtis, like, you know, she's, you know, the character that she's playing in it now, you know, like obviously she's older, she's not a teenager anymore, or she's not in her 20s or whatever anymore. So, you know, I feel like she's kind of reaching a point where maybe she's had enough of it herself. So.
Well, speaking of your opinions and me disagreeing with them, I feel like we have a little bit of business to take care of, because I came to this podcast with the understanding that I was going to make a case for the greatest lines ever spoken on screen. Can we get right down to business?
Let's do it. I love
I mean,
that.
hey,
let's do it.
I'm game. You know what? Tell you what, we're going to get right down to our business here. But to give ourselves a primer, let me just explain what's going to happen, right? The main topic on today's show is all about the greatest one-liners spoken on screen. And we're going to do something cool with that. We figured, hey, should we just list out our, favorite one-liners, or maybe we should get a little more creative, because like there's tons of stuff out there. Like these are the 100 greatest lines before the kill, after the kill. You can watch that stuff anywhere. So what can we do? What can we bring to you that's unique? So we figured something out. Here's a primer of what that's gonna look like.
What a burn. That sort of thing could get a man fired. I think he was hot for you.
That's enough.
Yeah.
So that was Austin Powers throwing out his best one-liners at us. But now it's time for us to be joined, for you to join us. Let me restate that. In Dan's court. Because now it's time to debate the greatest lines spoken on screen. It's Andrew. It's Brian. I should have flipped the names in the graphic, but whatever. Let the debate rage. We're going to kick off with the first round. The first round of lines is the kill line. So Brian, your kill line, please.
My kill line, let's see. I have... Okay, so this movie, I feel like this movie is absolutely an underrated movie, like one of the most underrated movies that I've seen. Man on Fire, the 2004 film with Dakota Fanning and Denzel Washington, who is one of my favorite actors of all time. Because, I mean, why not? Why wouldn't you like Denzel Washington? He's done so many great pieces and played so many great roles in his career. We actually talked about one of them, it wasn't last week, the week before, the movie Philadelphia. So I'm going to go ahead and begin with my opening statement. Quote, "I wish you had more time." And basically that is the scene where he catches up with one of the guys who is associated with the kidnapping of Dakota Fanning in the movie. He's basically tied up. His hands are tied up to, I believe it's the hood of the car. And he's basically getting any kind of facts or information about the kidnapping of Dakota Fanning from this guy that he possibly can. So basically he times him, and I believe he puts together a concoction, a C4 concoction, that he basically, I think he puts it in the guy, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember, but he basically times the guy.
You want to check it out?
I mean, yeah. Why don't we?
Would you like to present Exhibit A?
That would be great. I'd love. Yeah.
That would be great.
Can we do that, please?
Hey, man, I'm here to help you out. I don't know why. I'm not your lawyer. Okay, we're gonna watch this thing. Let's Exhibit A.
Just gonna go out, throw this out here, say the court seems a little biased.
Hey, let the record show. Let the record show.
Is that it? Am I supposed to? Okay, all right. We're gonna watch and listen to "I Wish You Had More Time."
Okay. At the Ramos house, before the exchange, we put the bags in the car. Guess what? What? Ramos' lawyer, Jordan Kalfas. Jordan Kalfas? Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry for the girl. It was just business. I'm a professional.
That's what everybody keeps saying. I'm just a professional. Everybody keeps saying that to me. I'm just a professional. I'm just a professional. I'm getting sick and tired of hearing that. You understand me?
What are you going to do now?
What am I going to do? I'm going to leave. I got to go.
Go?
Yeah, I got...
Hey, come on. What about me?
What about you? We've got 40 seconds.
Come on.
45.
Last wish, please.
Last wish. I wish you had more time. Hey.
There's Exhibit A.
So
I wish
it's
you
a
had more
great,
time.
great scene. One of the many scenes of Denzel Washington basically showing no mercy, catching up with one of the guys associated with the kidnapping of Dakota Fanning in the movie. Basically, in this scene, he finds another link to the chain. And gets more information of one of the guys involved in the kidnapping. And basically, I mean, I love the part when he's like banging on the guy's head. I'm just a professional. I'm just a professional. That's what I keep hearing. He doesn't want to hear it. Denzel Washington does not want to hear it.
Objection. This one-liner really requires a lot of context. That was a very long clip for one line.
Well, you have to.
Objection sustained.
Ooh,
Brian.
Ooh.
I mean, Andrew,
somebody got sustained.
You may,
what are you gonna do?
You may make your case.
Oh, yeah. May I present Exhibit B? A line that needs zero context. A clip that you can watch in about 3 seconds. I present to you Scarface. Say hello to my lil friend.
For the record, it's 28 seconds, but we'll play it anyway.
Yeah, the line is not 28 seconds.
Fair enough. This is kind of working against you,
that the line is only 3 seconds.
Because Brian is the one who cut all these clips, so he's not helping your cause. I don't even know, if there's a conflict of interest there, or something like that.
I believe there might be.
We may have to talk about this. Anyway, Exhibit A from Andrew. Say hello to my little friend.
You wanna fuck with me? Okay. You wanna flick this? Okay. I'll play with you. Come on. Okay. Do you wanna play rough? Okay. Say hello to my little friend. Okay. You wanna play rough? Okay.
And
this is neither friendly
from Andrew.
Nor is it little. You could watch this one scene alone and never know what else is going on. You could have never seen the movie. And you'll have seen this clip in other TV shows, in other movies. There's no denying that this has influenced filmmakers and directors for years. This is a line that stands on its own.
Objection. Objection, Your Honor. Objection.
Objection overruled.
Ooh.
Andrew, you may continue.
Yeah. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. You can feel the absolute reasonlessness behind this. It is out of control. It is 100% coke and rage and action that all you really have to know. Some people don't even know what the rest of the movie's about. You just see this scene and you go, yikes, that affects you. You don't have to know anything else. It's scary. It's weird. It's the drugs talking. It's a line that may be one of the most impactful, strange, even surreal. I would go so far as to say surreal lines in cinema history.
Well, Brian.
I rest my case.
Thank you. Brian, do you have anything to say to that? Anything in your closing argument, if you will?
Yes, I do, as a matter of fact, Your Honor. I mean, come on. Let's face it. How overly used and overdone is this line in pop culture? I mean, we hear it all too often. I mean, couldn't we think outside the box a little bit on this one? I mean, try and get a little bit more creative than say hello to my little friend. I mean, come on. I mean, you look at the gun that he uses in the scene. I don't even think it's the right gun that they used for the entire scene. I think they used a different gun.
Objection. The gun is not speaking the line.
but the gun is still a part of the scene. I mean, what is he using? An M203 grenade launcher?
I have no idea.
You know, I think they used the prop M16 military style assault rifle, for crying out loud.
I mean, you did more research than I did.
Yeah, I
Irrelevant. Has nothing to do with the line.
Oh,
I mean, it's an interesting fun fact. I'll allow it.
Fun fact. So now we can submit fun facts as evidence.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you. I appreciate it.
What's the verdict?
You know, I'm gonna have to deliberate on that a little bit. This is hard. All right, well, here is my verdict for you guys.
What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age!
What is it?
What? Yeah. What is happening?
What killed the dinosaurs? The
What?
Ice Age.
What? Where is this?
It's
coming
Mr.
from?
Freeze. That's my verdict. Mr. Freeze wins the best kill line.
I
don't even
feel
know
like
who's
I
gonna
just
kill
wasted a
somebody in
lot of
that.
time.
How does that line
making
fit
a
in
really
there?
good case.
Can you explain yourself, Your Honor, please?
I think you're out of order.
I'm not out of order. You guys out of order. This whole
I don't think
courtroom is out of order.
Just banging a
Let's
gavel
move
at
on.
me.
Al
So-
Pacino is out of order.
No. No, he isn't.
He certainly was not out of bullets, is what I'll tell you.
I'll be back.
You're a disease, and I'm the cure.
It's time.
How do you like your ribs?
All right. So, moving on. Mr. Freeze won the last round. The next case comes to us from the lands of the comeback lines. These are the kind of lines that guys like Bruce Lee, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester. I don't know. Of late, I've been forgetting this dude's name. Freaking Rocky. Sylvester Stallone, Bruce Lee. These kind of guys, you know, they have some good comeback lines. But I don't know if any one of those are in here. So, Brian, this time around, I'm going to go with Andrew first. So, Andrew, give me your opening argument for this.
Fair enough.
What's your best comeback line?
Well, you know, I just want to let the record show that in the previous case, my colleague over here criticized me for not thinking outside of the box, and I want to make sure that you understand that's exactly what I did for this next case here, because I find that so many of these comebacks, so many of these,
Objection, Your Honor. Objection, Your Honor. He's
I haven't
belaboring
even
the
finished
point.
my opening
He's
argument.
belaboring the point.
I'm moving into
Order.
my argument.
Objection. He's belaboring the point, Your Honor. Objection.
Can I continue,
Sustained.
please?
Andrew, you may continue. Please move on
Okay.
to another point.
Now, I think many of these one-liners are overwritten, overhyped. It's all of the sound design comes to a close. We zoom in on the guy's face, and he's gonna mutter something under his breath, like "See you next time," and it's just way too much. The Coen brothers did the exact opposite of this in The Big Lebowski, where every single super conversational line, where it feels like they really are coming with these lines off the cuff. These lines were poured over. They really, really, really specifically chose the ums and the delays. The performances had to make these lines sound conversational and real. And the most real comeback is the one that's not that clever. And so here, I submit as the greatest comeback line for its stunning representation of reality that's just like your opinion, man. Let's do the
That
clip.
makes me fucking sick.
Well, what do you care, Walter?
Those rich fucks. This whole fucking thing. I did not watch my buddies die face down in the muck so that this fucking strumpet, this
Walter,
fucking
I don't
whore,
see any
could waltz
connection with
around
Vietnam,
town.
man.
Well, there isn't a literal connection,
no, Walter,
dude.
face it, there isn't any connection. You're wrong.
Have it your way, but my
You're
point
wrong.
is my point is.
Are you ready to be fucked, man? I see you roll your way into the semis. Dios mío, man. Liam and me, we're gonna fuck you up.
Yeah, well, you know, that's just like your opinion, man.
What are you going to say to that?
Your Honor, if I may, please.
Sure.
Okay, let's start with basically. Let's start with the line itself.
I mean, that's just your opinion, man.
Well, he said that's just like your opinion man. You can't forget the light. So I just want to say that this
Fair
has got to be one of the most well-known burnout lines.
Do not
of the
correct me
century.
again, or I'll hold you in contempt of court.
Ooh.
My
But you may
apologies, Your
continue.
Honor. My apologies, Your Honor. If I could continue.
Yeah, you better apologize.
This has to be one of the worst comeback lines I have ever heard. I mean, the dude played by Jeff Bridges in this movie, in The Big Lebowski, he doesn't even have a job, for crying out loud.
Again, irrelevant.
Which means he doesn't even have any money. So where does he
Irrelevant.
get the money to first of all bowl in this league that he's in with John Goodman and Steve Buscemi? I mean, where
Get
is
to the
this coming
point,
from?
Brian.
Again,
Come on, man.
totally irrelevant. Has nothing to do with the line. Which again,
I mean,
stunning reality.
Look
Stunning
what
reality.
All right, hold on.
Look
Okay.
what he is wearing.
Brian, I think you need to make your point at the now. We have talked enough about what Andrew had to say. I believe he's got a good case, but I want to hear yours, or
Yeah, me
else
too.
I'm gonna just have to rule in his favor. So what is it gonna be?
I mean, we're talking about some of the famous comeback lines in history on screen, and that's just like your opinion, man. I mean, what kind of comeback?
What have you
line
got?
is that?
What's better?
All right, so this is my comeback line. One of the most well-known and very thoughtful comeback lines in the history of cinema. You want to Hurt Me by John Candy as Del Griffith in Planes, the classic Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, the 1987 film. I mean, let's break it down really quick. John Candy and Steve Martin, they don't just play characters in this movie. They're playing like themselves. I mean, they embody themselves to find everlasting friendship in this movie. And this is the one scene in the movie where we see both of them literally like realize like what kind of people they are in the movie, and basically have them come together after this. And that's when Steve Martin realizes, when he's on the train, what kind of person that John Candy is. And I have to say, Your Honor, I've heard before that John Candy, being the kind of person that he was, the real genuine person that he was, I've heard before that if there's any movie that portrayed him as a person the most, it was Uncle Buck. But this is not that far off. I mean, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, you really get a true sense of who John Candy is.
Where is this going?
As a
Where is
real
this
person
going?
in this movie. So, no, I'll tell you where this is going right now. The whole line, "You want to hurt me." Well, go ahead if it makes you feel any better. I mean, this is like a true comeback to basically give you an idea of like the real person that John Candy is in this movie. He's basically a person.
Okay, let me, Brian. I'm gonna cut you off there for a bit.
Good.
It's a wonderful.
I feel like you're dragging this out so that simply you get more time to speak, and maybe therefore your argument becomes more valid. I'm trying to be impartial here, right? So I want to give you an opportunity to share, any part of this scene, if you have the line, and if you do, let me know, because Andrew certainly had his.
I have
I think that would help your case.
show.
You do.
I have evidence to show. I have a video to show.
You
and
do.
prove
Okay.
my evidence.
Oh, that's original.
Your Honor, please. Come on. Your Honor.
All right. Well, presenting Exhibit B. You want to hurt me?
You want to hurt me? Go right ahead if it makes you feel any better. I'm an easy target. Yeah, you're right. I talk too much. I also listen too much. I could be a cold-hearted cynic like you. But I don't like to hurt people's feelings. Well, you think what you want about me. I'm not changing. I like me. My wife likes me. My customers like me. Because I'm the real article. What you see is what you get.
You want to hurt me? Go right ahead if it makes you feel any better. I'm an easy target. Yeah, you're right. I talk too much. I also listen too much. I could be a cold-hearted cynic like you, but I don't like to hurt people's feelings. When you think what you want about me, I'm not changing. I like me. My kids like me. My friends like me. Because I'm the real article. What you see is what you get.
Wow, okay. I thought we were watching a clip from, what's the movie? Planes, Trains, and Automobiles? What the hell was that on the end there?
That shouldn't be allowed.
Your Honor, this just
I was watching
helps
Family
prove-
Guy by the end of that clip.
We should throw that out.
Your Honor, this just helps prove my point that even a great quality cartoon, one of the greatest cartoon shows of all time by yours truly.
What? Objection.
Seth MacFarlane.
Yours truly.
Even-
Oh. Okay. Not you. Okay.
Not me, but yeah, Seth MacFarlane. Basically help prove my point that they use such a classic line, comeback line, in his show, Family Guy.
Well, Brian, I'm gonna cut you off there. I'm a little pissed that somehow we ended up on Family Guy. I may have to disqualify Exhibit B on grounds of deception and misleading the audience, I suppose. I don't know what
strike
else
it from
to
the
call
record.
it. We will strike it from the record. You're right. Thank you for
Strike it
reminding
from the
me.
record. Yeah.
Let's
You just
strike
got
it from
struck.
the record. The wording was escaping my mind. It's certainly flown back into my mind. And speaking of flying back into my mind, here's my verdict on this case.
Anyone who can fly a plane would be useful.
Okay, good. I can fly. I'm pilot.
Yes, you are, Randy. You are a pilot, and you are Fly. He's also in our intro.
What?
And he kills.
What are you doing?
What?
I made such a good. I want to just say I'm doing a really good job here. I'm making some really good cases.
Well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Brian, not so much.
Your Honor, objection, Your Honor.
But you gotta at least. You're just ignoring. What?
It's over. It's over. We're moving on. We're moving on.
How could you pick that?
Guys,
How could you
even a good
pick
line.
that?
I'm the judge here, okay? I get to make these decisions.
Kangaroo court.
And I say Randy Quaid has got this one. He's got it pocketed. I mean, look, Brian,
Your Honor, I had evidence.
you messed up
beyond
your case.
reasonable doubt.
Andrew, you made a good point, but I gotta go with Randy Quaid. I gotta go with I'm Fly, I'm Pilot. The dude was Fly. The dude got kidnapped by aliens, but then however many years later, he stuck it up to them. In the words of his generation, up yours. Yeah. All right. On the other side of this brief commercial break, we don't really have commercials, but on the other side of this break, we're gonna have the final category, the cool line.
I don't even want to.
Say hi to Mommy. In hell.
Prepare to meet Kali in hell.
Go to hell and take your friends with you! This is Sparta!
Well, I think we just lost our judge.
Well, I'll be honest. It's no great loss. We were not getting real quality judge work there. I'm gonna go ahead and.
I will not object to that.
Yeah, I think we can come to an agreement that this is not the fairest thing going on.
I can still hear you.
Nah, it doesn't matter.
I will make my return. I'll be back.
All right. Well, I think our last case for the day is the coolest line ever spoken.
That it is.
Well, what have you got? I can't wait to be amazed by the incredible line you have for me.
Well, basically, just to top this all off with some magical cinema, wonderful goodness. I'm gonna
Get to the point.
I'm gonna pull a line.
To the point, man.
I'm gonna get to I'm gonna pull a line from the classic 1983 film Risky Business, starring a young Tom Cruise as Joel Goodson in this one. And I'm gonna take the line. Sometimes you gotta say, "What the fuck."
Well, there you
We
go.
did warn you. The language was gonna.
Sorry, we did.
It was
we
too
did-
much.
we
I
did-
couldn't handle
We
it.
did warn you guys. I'm sorry about that. We did warn you. But
This is a courtroom. You can't say that in here.
so, what's there not to say about this classic film? I mean,
I've lost all my credibility after that whole whatever. Anyway, here's Try Knocking on the Door from Risky Business. Wait, no, this is not right. What did I just
Well,
do?
that totally destroys the element of surprise of my case.
Oh, my bad. Sometimes you gotta say what the fuck from Risky Business. Here we go. Oh, this has been one heck of a day.
Joel, you want to know something? What? Every now and then, say what the fuck. What the fuck gives you freedom? Freedom brings opportunity. Opportunity makes your future.
Miles!
Be right there. So your folks are going out of town. Tomorrow. You got the place all to yourself? Yeah. What the fuck?
Well, Joel, your stats are very respectable. You've done some solid work here. But it's not quite Ivy League now, is it?
You know, Bill, there's one thing I've learned in all my years. Sometimes you gotta say, what the fuck? Make your move.
I beg your pardon?
Okay, Brian, I'm really starting to get ticked off at how long your exhibits are. Like,
No respect
it's-
for the
I feel like the
judicial
runtime.
system.
Your Honor, I'm trying.
You know,
to
you're
prove
going for
my point
quantity
here.
over quality. What's going on
I'm
here?
trying to
Yeah.
prove my point.
And your arguments make no sense.
I just wanted. This is such an iconic scene, though. I mean, you know, you can't forget the iconic scene where Tom Cruise slides across the floor in his socks and his underwear.
Again,
But-
not the line.
But I'm proving my point here. This
No,
is
you're
all
not.
stuff to
You're
help
actually
back
doing
it
your
up.
point a disservice.
So Bill Rutherford, the guy who sits down to have the interview with Tom Cruise about his Princeton admission that his dad helped set up for him. I mean, listen, the parents are out of the house. Nobody's home. He throws a party. Basically, the party features a bunch of attractive women that are getting paid to provide some pleasure. Let's say some pleasure, Your Honor.
Okay, this is a euphemism for some things that are clearly illegal.
For his friends. I mean, come on, who can beat that? And then
No, I want to know what does that mean?
Yeah,
What
could you elaborate on that for us?
Please.
Yes,
I'm not
yes.
getting this euphemism.
So basically, he hires very attractive women to provide some sexual pleasures for his friends.
Your Honor, he's talking about prostitution. He's beating around the bush.
It's to prove my point. And
Again,
I feel like there's
not
a
very
funny
cool.
comeback. In
Also
there somewhere
irrelevant
that
from
I
the
can't.
line.
And then the line itself, sometimes you gotta say
Prostitution.
sometimes You just gotta say.
Talk
what
about.
the
Okay, no, sorry, nothing there.
And then he
This
throws
is a
on.
particularly smutty
he
argument.
throws on. Let me speak. Let me finish my point. Then he throws on the classic black '80s shades to put the cherry on top of the cool one-liner ice cream. And that's how you do it. There's nothing cooler than Tom Cruise
Prostitution.
in the '80s.
It's not in the
There's
Constitution.
nothing cooler than Tom
There it
Cruise.
is. There it is.
Objection.
Okay, objection
There's
sustained.
nothing
I'm tired of
cooler
this
than-
argument.
Yeah,
Too long.
yeah. There's nothing cooler than Tom Cruise. There's plenty cooler than Tom Cruise. I have two words for you: Clint Eastwood. Those are two words that are much cooler than Tom Cruise. I got two more words for you: Dirty Harry. Possibly one of the coolest characters who ever existed. And I know what you're thinking. Is the coolest line ever spoken, "Do you feel lucky?" Well, do you, punk? Which may be one of the greatest lines in cinema history. But again, gonna think outside the box just so that I can make sure you like this argument, Brian. This is a scene in which Dirty Harry demonstrates himself as the ultimate alpha, the least desperate man for a woman's affection. A woman, his neighbor, incredibly attracted to him, asks him, what does a girl have to do to get to bed with you? Doesn't get more explicit than that. Although it's more
Objection!
Objection,
Your Honor. Objection! This could be another.
And he says the following.
Objection
He says the
overruled.
following. May I
interested.
present Exhibit E, a clip from Magnum Force.
That would be C. Okay.
Hi.
Oh, hi. What's your name?
Sunny. You know, I've been living here almost 6 months now. It's funny I've never met you before.
Oh, well, I work a lot.
I know. You're the cop who lives upstairs.
That's right.
Mind if I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
What does a girl have to do to go to bed with you?
Try knocking on the door?
Have you tried knocking on the door?
On my door. Says
Your
Mr.
Honor,
Clint
Your
Eastwood
Honor,
or Dirty.
I'm sorry,
What's
I
his
just
name?
want
Is
to
it
say...
he must be called Harry in the movie, right? Isn't that? No.
I must be what?
What's the name of the character? That
Dirty
Clint-
Harry.
Oh yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
Now this is a character. He's a cop. He's shooting guns. See, there's plenty of action scenes, but this is some alpha level stuff that rivals James Bond, I would say. This is a guy who's way more concerned about the business and the things he's got to do, and he's so self-assured. He is the epitome of cool in this scene because he could not give less, of a fuck. He does a really good job of saying, yeah, you want this? It's up to you. Otherwise, I got stuff to do.
Your Honor,
Yeah.
Your Honor, do we even know how old this woman is that Dirty Harry is talking to, his neighbor?
What?
Here?
That's
This,
not,
Your
again,
Honor,
got nothing
Your
to
Honor,
do
this could be
with the
another
line
form. We talk
or the
about
fact.
we talk about prostitution, Your Honor. This could be another form of prostitution, Your Honor.
Make an argument that's relevant for once.
Hey, look, I have to say, don't attack the good-looking lady in that scene. Defend the line. You may talk about Clint. Let's not talk about other people in the scene.
Your Honor, Clint Eastwood has many other cooler lines than this one. I will say that. Especially, do you feel lucky, punk? I mean, I just want to go on record saying that this is not one of the cooler lines that Clint Eastwood has said in his movies.
I disagree, and I would also say that the fact that he has a catalog of incredibly cool lines lets me know these are much cooler lines than anything Tom Cruise has ever said. I rest my case.
Well, continuing the trend of really bad choices.
What?
You guys have led me to another verdict where I must take your 2 picks, toss them out the trash.
Why?
And substitute it with my own.
What are you doing?
Oh, yeah. Santa Barbara, you are now entering the smooth storm. KJAD's new After Dark Talk. I'm your host, a player named Gus. So sit back and chillax with me as I take you on a funky ride. If you don't scream, well, I sure enough won't holler. You feel me, white chocolate?
What are you doing?
Unbelievable.
White chocolate.
Unbelievable.
Playing him, Gus.
Just
I gotta say, I'm talking. Keep hitting my mic. I'm talking. All right. I have to say, I'm disappointed in you guys.
You're disappointed
guys,
in us?
Yes, I'm disappointed.
Why? How?
In you.
How?
Let me explain. Let me explain. All right. So I asked you guys to go pick out your favorite lines, your favorite one-liners, right? But for some reason, you guys, I mean, let's say, okay, Say hello to my little friend. Give you that one.
That's one for me.
Outside of that, I can't think of any single one, which was truly a one-line,
come on,
a good
not
one-liner.
not
Here's
even one
here's
for
the
me.
court's definition of what's a good one-liner. A good one-liner should be able to stand on its own without context, so that if anybody just throws it at you, it works. You don't have to.
That's just like your opinion, man.
Okay, I'll give you that one too. That was the other one. That was the other one.
It's like he wants to hurt us.
Dude, you gotta stop hitting my mic. That's just like your opinion, man. Try knocking on the door. Come on, man.
You think you could fly,
Try
but you're
knocking
no
on the
pilot.
door. Like,
You
I
think
could
you could
say
fly,
that,
but you're no
most
pilot?
people will be like, "What? I don't know. What?" Sometimes I forgot what that line was. Even what was the line?
It was dirty. We probably shouldn't repeat it. It probably wasn't that good.
Yeah.
I think we're done here.
I mean, you wanna? What was the other one? You wanna hurt me? You wanna hurt me? I could say that. They'd be like, "What?"
Yeah.
Nobody gets
People
that.
would say like,
I'm
what?
sorry. I'm
Come
sorry.
on, but
you know what? This is
seriously,
over.
Your Honor,
This is
Your
over.
Honor,
The court is adjourned. The court is adjourned.
No.
We're out of
What
here.
killed the-
We're out of
what
here.
killed the
Let's cut to.
dinosaurs, the Ice Age?
You know what? I've
It's
had enough
time
of this.
for some Rolan Underground.
Leave it on the doorstep and get the hell out of here.
Oh, shit, that's embarrassing.
Crotch? Sorry, but I'm not a soft taco. I'm a hard, horny taco.
Terrorist! Terrorize this.
Welcome to Rolan Underground, where we talk about what's happening in the world above while in my grandparents' basement. I'm your host, the person your mother always compares you to. Now, let's get into it. This week I thought we'd talk about Halloween costumes, specifically couple Halloween costumes. To get a really good costume, you have to order ahead, so it's a month in advance. What's your excuse at this point? So let's get into some cool couples. Gomez and Morticia Addams. It's classic. I mean, they're absolutely loving each other. You know, they're creepy, they're cool. Honestly, you can get really creative with this. You can, I think Joe Jonas and Sophia Turner, they did a costume of this, and it looked incredible. Wordplay is always fun. Baseball bat, and then it's baseball, and then like another person's like the animal bat. Or you could do sand and witch. I don't know. The point is it's a conversation starter. It's not going to be like creepy unless you do it right. But it can be fun. You know, that's what Halloween is about. It's having fun. You can probably dress as each other, be like a parody. Something that I find really cool is zombified historical couples. So, you know, like Bonnie and Clyde, Cleopatra and Mark Antony, JFK and Marilyn Monroe. Probably not Adam and Eve. I feel like that would be weird if you kind of show up naked to your friend's Halloween costume party. And also it's, you know, fall, so it's kind of cold. So I don't think anyone wants that. But honestly, you can just dress up as any couple. Any couple on TV, on movies. It really doesn't matter. As long as you're having fun, it doesn't matter. And if your, you know, girlfriend is like, "Oh my gosh, we have to be a couple," you know, like, yes, I mean, fine, just do it. There's tons, you know. Maybe you want to do something a little more creative. That's fine. No one cares, is what I'm saying. It's just fun. Be fun. I just want to talk about some questionable costumes. Basically, any Quentin Tarantino couple. Name one that's really healthy. They're all toxic inside. If you want to do a Quentin Tarantino character, that's fine. But like when you just do the couples, then you look at it and you just see all the problems, and you can't do that. Joker and Harley, I see this. Everybody sees this a lot. Don't do that. It was a lot of domestic abuse. Joker was a horrible. That's how I say horrible person to Harley. It was very toxic. Honestly, it's better to do Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. Much better relationship. It's in a TV show. It's very canon in the comics. Any weird hetero costume, like plug an outlet, or like an avocado with a seed and an avocado without a seed, that's weird. It's just weird. I don't know. I just don't like it. I feel like it's cheap. Those costumes are all cheap, and it's just weird. I don't like it. You know. There's probably tons, but that just came to mind. Cringy, just straight up cringy. Kind of going back to this hetero costume. I'm sorry, I can't get over it. They're just weird. I don't like them. But Beetlejuice and Lydia, I actually really love the movie Beetlejuice. It's a great movie. Beetlejuice himself looks like such a cool thing. But Beetlejuice is a pervert. That's like a big part of the movie. And Lydia is like a teenager. Like she's a child. She's a child. So basically, you see all this like these couples dressed up as Beetlejuice and Lydia. Bro, you're dressing up as a pedophile wedding, a child wedding. So just something to think about. Honestly, if you want to do Beetlejuice, I would suggest Adam and Barbara. They were an amazing couple. They were so cute. They honestly helped raise Lydia at the end. Spoiler alert for this 30-year-old movie. You know, you see like these cute, you know, innocent couple. I feel like it's always like this kind of innocent, naive couple that does like little Pixar. You know, like, oh my gosh, I'm a kid at heart. Don't do Sully and Boo. It's weird. I don't like that. I honestly, you think it's so sweet and cute. I'm gonna ruin this couple costume with 2 words: pedophilia, bestiality. Because that's the subtext of what you're doing. You know what I mean? It's very uncomfortable. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I ruin your cute childhood costume? Did I ruin that? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Oh. The Incredibles costume, I've just seen too many memes of it. Honestly, like it's fine, and it's not anything special, but like the costume is fine. My problem is I've seen so many memes of like a guy and girl, and they go as Incredible, and like the guy is like, hey, you're the mom to my dad. I forgot their names. I don't remember what their names are. And then the girl is always like, more like, you're the Dash to my Violet. How did I remember the kids' names? But I can't remember. Helen? I think that was the mom's name. Helen and Bob. I've just seen that too many times. Just getting like friend zoned automatically. So probably stop that. I thought we could do an inclusive one. You know, to be inclusive. You know, I see a lot of lists where it's just like hetero couples. So I thought I would do one for the gays. Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. I saw that. I thought that was cool. Buzz and Woody. Honestly, take any best friends from any TV and movies. Make it gay. That's fine. Do you know how many fan fictions there are of that already? You're not the first to think of it. I guarantee you. A TV show comes out. There's Rule 34. And then there's like Rule 56. I don't know. For like gay fan fictions. That's just how it goes. I'm guilty of reading when I was in high school. I'm not ashamed to say it. I did. Supernatural. Was really into it. Oh, Supernatural. That would be a really good couple costume for anyone, really. We should see more Black Mirror costumes. I never see any Black Mirror costumes, and I feel like that would be really cool to see. Like San Junipero, that one with the like the 80s or whatever, or it's like a cloud. That'd be cool. I'm just saying. Going as a throuple. A throuple is somehow 3 people dating at the same time, or just a couple in a really close third wheel, like uncomfortably close. Go as something basic, like the Powerpuff Girls. I heard the CW is failing to reboot that. Supernatural, like I said. Hocus Pocus, that would be fun. There's honestly so many like trios in TV shows. Use that. Maybe you're going solo this year, and that's just as fine. But if that's the case, just pick a character. Any character. It doesn't matter. There's millions upon millions of characters in the world. Just pick one. Pick a horror movie. Watch a random horror movie. You know, I went as Ash Williams from Evil Dead, I think 4 times. I maybe have different costumes that year, but I definitely went as him a lot. Just reuse one. Maybe update it a little bit. It's fine. Nobody cares. And that is Rolan Underground with this week's rant. Come back next week, and I'll talk about something else. You'll find out. Nice.
And that was Rolan Underground. So, Now, let's talk about what's coming up on next week's show, guys. So, what is coming up on next week's show? Let me take a look at my notes. It apparently says on the screen that next week's show is all about No Time to Die. I talked about that movie earlier, and guess what I said? I said that movie is the one that I want to go see, not Venom, because I'll probably have checked it out anyway. But even if I haven't, I'm going to go see No Time to Die. Why am I going to go see No Time to Die? Because I want to go see No Time to Die. I want to see James Bond. I want to see Daniel Craig for the last time as the iconic 007. I want to see him drink his martini shaken, not stirred. But guess what, guys? The other reason why I'm going to go see that movie next weekend, or before next weekend, because, you know, on Sunday we're going to be talking about this. On the next episode of Oh So Curious, we will be reviewing No Time to Die. Your thoughts?
Andrew, you
Fine by
want to
me.
take this?
You do whatever you want. I'm going to figure other things out. I have a more to cover next week about the fact that there are way too many movies coming out this fall. And you might not know what you want to go see. Well, I have a very discriminating taste when it comes to these things. And so I'm going to let you know which ones you should avoid, which ones might actually be worth your time. That's what I got for you next week. How about you, Brian?
I'm going to be really excited for No Time to Die when it comes out. I think that's something I am probably definitely most likely going to see. When you look at a cast like Daniel Craig, Rami Malek, is that how you say it? I don't know if I ever say his name right, but
Rami Malek.
Yeah, and
Rami
Amy.
Rami Malek.
Yeah, that's it. Yep, Ana del Armas
Sorry.
too. You know, wonderful actress as well. She was in Knives Out, I believe. Yeah, I mean, with a cast like that, and like we all said before, yeah, this is Daniel Craig's last movie as James Bond. So, I mean, I'm very excited for it, and we have a lot coming to you in the future for the whole Too Many Films in the Fall calendar segment coming. So I'm really excited.
There's a lot of movies on the calendar. There really are.
Yeah,
I mean, you got
so we're gonna
Venom, was already out. You got James Bond, No Time to Die.
We're gonna have to break them all down for you.
I mean, The
You know,
Last
we're
Duel,
basically...
Eternals, Spider-Man. What is this one called? No Way Home. Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of other movies coming out. There's so many movies on the calendar. It's kind of hard to figure out which one you want to go see. We'll be working on a piece about that, but while we work on that piece, we will also be going to watch No Time to Die. Andrew, do you have anything about No Time to Die that you in particular are looking forward to?
I don't know. I think the biggest thing I can anticipate is who's going to be the next James Bond. That's really all I got at this point. Maybe they'll hint at it.
I doubt it. The last time they recast the character, it was like 2 years after like the Pierce Brosnan's last James Bond movie came out. But anyway, I mean, who knows? Who knows? Maybe maybe the new James Bond will be in this James Bond. I mean, probably not. But
Something.
I am
Some
looking
little
forward.
hint.
Huh?
Some little hint. Maybe an Easter egg. Something that people can read.
I'll tell you what. The one thing I am looking forward to on this movie. This is a series of James Bond movies unlike any in the past. Whereas in the past they were all sort of episodic. Like, you know, James Bond goes on an adventure, and, you know, the MI6 operative just does something fancy, goes out, you know, on some futuristic gadget, gets the girl, gets the bad guy, you know, kills him, gets him captured, whatever. But each movie was its own, like, isolated event, almost. This James Bond is more serialized. Like, every movie is connected. It's one long story arc. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how they wrap this up. Like, the career of this James Bond. He's retired already like 3 times. He's fallen in love and the person has died a couple of times. I mean, he's been through a lot. So I'm looking forward to seeing how it all ends for Daniel Craig's James Bond. He broke a few bones in the process. All the blood, sweat, and tears, literally, that he has put into this role. Looking forward to seeing how it all wraps up. So, speaking of wrapping up, we're going to wrap up the show today. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Like and subscribe. Leave us a review. Give us 5 stars. We like 5 stars. 5 stars are better than 4 stars, 3 stars, 2 stars, 1 star. Certainly better than 0 stars. Give us a 5-star review. Hit the like button. Hit the notification bell. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Find us on your favorite podcasting platform. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, do check us out next week. We'll be talking all about James Bond's latest outing in No Time to Die. But until then, it's been oh so curious. 3 curious minds trying to tell time. With me today was Brian. Brian, you can say goodbye.
Sayonara, everyone.
And also with us today was Andrew.
Yeah. Goodbye.
It's your turn.
Goodbye. That's
all right,
correct.
Good. And on that note, it's time to say goodbye. We will see you next week with our reviews for No Time to Die.